right, I'm back. This is Rebel. This episode was really more of a filler episode. It was, building up to next week, which looks like it's gonna be really good. I can't wait. I'm gonna try to run through it as quickly as I possibly can because I got a headache and I want to go to sleep, even though I know I'm not gonna go to sleep. Starts off with a little press conference. Giancarlo, ESPA police officer, is sitting there giving you, we had technical difficulties. We don't have any dash camera footage. Is the door just open? Like, oh, it is still open. Because I want that light to get out of here. Yeah, technical difficulties. We don't have any of the footage. What a shame. Sister girl from Devious Maids. I can't remember her name, but I live for her character on the show. She's playing the DA over here on Rebel. I'm just my head over here to the light. Oh, I should have done that a minute ago. But yeah, she's playing, I guess, the DA over here on Rebel. And she's giving okay, so y'all are having technical difficulties. Do I need to send my 10-year-old son to get the things together? Because what you expect me to tell all of the city that, we don't have the footage because y'all having problems? I don't think so. So she's giving, fever. Then we get to Rebel. She's having a flashback of the time that she and Malik, okay, the door is making noise now. I just can't live. But she and Malik got, the matching tattoos and, it was real cute. I hope this is recording, actually. If it's not, I'm going to kill myself. Probably not, actually. Possibly, though. But, Malik turned 18, in this flashback, and they, it's, I've always got your back, little bruh, and they fist bump and all of that. Then we switch over to, the lawyer is back at Drunk Daddy's house, and, she's giving they're going to want to settle, and we're going to try to, get, Jesus. Can I live? Oh. They're going to try to settle. We're going to try to get, we're going to try to hit him over the head, yada, yada, yada. Find out that none of the officers had on their body cams. Because Drunk Daddy went on down to, Giancarlo's office. Is it Charles? I feel like it's Charles. Went on down to Charles's office and was like, I found out that didn't nobody have on their cams, yada, yada. And Charles was like, well, how did you know that? And he's like, it don't matter. Give me the footage. And it's like, And he's like, I can't get you the footage, yada, yada, yada. Drunk father says, I'll be out here until I get the footage. So he, waits outside. We get over to Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte is Chen's mother. I'm assuming Chen's brother's mother. And she seemed very nice. She seemed very not racist. And I'm just trying to figure out what's tea, because Chen's brother, I believe I've learned his name is Jimmy, but we're going to keep calling him Chen's brother because he's just not important. They have not mentioned a father. They've only mentioned their mother. And their mother did not seem to be racist because she's calling Rebel her daughter-in-law and thinks that Chen's and Rebel have gotten married and all of that. And I'm like, where did this racism come from? It must be a father. We're going to have to get deeper. But anyway, so Chen's asks Rebel to look into his mother's caretaker, all of that, because his mother has Alzheimer's. Tragic. That is a terrible disease. So then we get over back to Sidekick Shawty and Rebel back at the house, and Sidekick Shawty is buying all these gadgets, and she's just ready to be a spy. And Rebel is like, you gotta take it back. We can't afford these things. And they're looking into April Summerdale, and Sidekick Shawty is like, why are you taking money from Chen's? We hate Chen's. And Rebel is like, money is money. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't be me. Because I have a brother who's been murdered, and if his murderer swung by and was like, hey sis, I'll pay you to just do these things, I would kick him. I'd kick him smooth in the forehead. I would. I'd do it. What else? I wasn't really paying too much attention. Again, I don't feel good. I have a headache and it's been a long day. And really, I just don't pay attention. I really be trying to make excuses. But on all these reviews I say, I wasn't paying that much attention. I just don't pay attention. Why be lying? Like, I mean, I do have a headache, but it's not the reason I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't interesting to me in the moment. Anyway, so Sidekick Shawty swoops on down to somebody's office and is talking to somebody's homosexual, and she's trying to flirt with him, and Rebel has an earpiece in her ear, and she's like, don't flirt with him, he's gay. Threaten him. And so she tries to threaten him. He didn't really go for that. Sidekick takes the piece out of her ear and wings it and gets the information she wants. They get some black book entries and a couple other things. I don't know. Drunk Daddy is drunk, And he's still waiting on this footage. And he's down there and he's drinking. And Rebel tells him, you know, you got to cut it out. You know, that drinking makes you confused. Stop that. And he's like, I'm gonna drink. So, we swoop over to, you know, a little while later. Drunk daddy is drunk. He's hollering. He's giving hands up. Don't shoot. You know, he's just belligerent almost, but not to the point where, you know, they're going to do anything about it. He's just standing in front of the police office drunk, acting a fool. They're escorting one of these young men in. He's a black brother, you know, around Malik's age. And he's like, you know, I got you, young man. I got your back, and all of that. And the officer that shot Malik the most, I can't remember his name. It was some Hispanic. They have a confrontation. Drunk father is like, you know, you shot my son. He's like, I shot your son because he was reaching for a gun. Yada, yada, yada. And he was just being very ignorant. He was, you know, holding his hand like, yeah, I did. It was me. And I'm just like, I hate this nigga. Chyna, I believe is her name. Is it Chyna? I feel like I'm being racist saying Chyna because I don't feel like it's Chyna. And it sounds like, you know, the CHINK word. And I just feel like that's just, y'all let me know if it's actually Chyna. It just sounds too close to the other one. I'm gonna call her Sidekick Shawty. Sidekick Shawty pulls up some information. I'm still not quite sure what she does, but she pulls up a lot of information. They locate Houston. Houston looks very much like a white man to me, but they say he's Hispanic. I mean, in the pictures he looked Hispanic, but when we saw him in real life, he looked like a white man. And I'm just like, okay. But all of a sudden, Rebel is giving crackhead teas, and she's got her hair all, you know, wild and crazy, looking like, again, Anjanou Ellis in that movie where she kidnapped Keke Palmer as a baby. And just looking wild and, you know, runs up on whoever that police officer she's working with, but not really working with, runs up on him and, you know, disrupts the feed because he's undercover. And she starts talking to him, and she's like, I found, you know, Houston, no thanks to you, and yada, yada, yada. And the feed comes back on. Or no, another officer comes out, and he's undercover too, and he's like, I ain't blow his cover, yada yada. So they're just like, oh, Rebel, she's in the way, always in the way. Let me see. Giancarlo Esposito / I believe it's Charles. It has to be Charles because she called him Chucky. Charles offers to take drunk daddy to get something to drink, and I'm like, why are you taking an alcoholic to the bar? But okay, they go to the bar, and he's like, you know, we gonna get the dash. I've reviewed the footage. I believe it can be, you know, recovered, put back together. And that's nice. And then he said something along the lines of, take the settlement money. And drunk daddy is like, my son is worth more to me than the money. Somebody died today. I'm receiving a text message. I'm on a group message with my family. I don't know what they be talking about half the time, but one of them knows passed on today, so may he rest. Let me see. Mama Chen's is being spied on, like I said, by Rebel. She puts a little sound device in a brooch, gives Mama the brooch. They're listening, she's listening, and she hears, you know, some sexual innuendos, and she thinks that Mama Chen's is going with, I believe his name was Paolo, the little aide that's, you know, taking care of her. Come to find out, Mama Chen's got a man. Rebel done busting down, is like, oh no, this ain't going down on my watch, and it's her and the man. And she's like, who is this? Obviously, it's her man. This man got his arm wrapped around her shoulder. And I'm just like, this is very clear. They drinking champagne and all of that. So then she talks to Paolo and is like, you know, shook about her having a man, I guess. I don't know. We get over to Fat Cop. Fat Cop is covering down for those officers. And Giancarlo is like stuck in the middle, quote unquote. And, you know, he's on the side of the police, but also he doesn't agree with Fat Cop, you know, he said he never talked to April Summerdale, but it's on video here that they did speak, and didn't say nothing about the body cam, and it turns out April Summerdale did have her body camera on, and all of that. Sidekick Shawty tells the officer, the one that popped up at the end of the episode a couple weeks back and took his hood off and was like, I heard you looking for Houston, but then nothing ever came of it. It's like, what? Anyway, so she tailed him. Sidekick Shawty did, and Rebel gets in the car and is like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh well, the feed was going in and out on the GPS, so I just tailed him. Rebel is mad because she's an overprotective friend, and she's like, you tailed a cop? What if, you know, what if he had made you and confronted you? And Sidekick was like, I would have dealt with it, you know, just come on. And Rebel gives her, you do this all the time. You think you can just jump in and be a PI now. You thought you could be an anthropologist. You thought you was going to be a veterinarian before that. And then, you know, 2 weeks ago, you thought you was just going to be the president. Like, and Chyna's like, you know what? You're an ungrateful bitch. And I don't care for it. And I'm like, ooh, Ooh, drama. But all of it was still a little boring to me. Drunk father sitting out there, and Giancarlo Charles comes out and trying to talk to him, and drunk father calls him house Negro, and I agree. And Giancarlo is like, you don't know what it's like to be in my shoes. Drunk father is like, well, you know what? At one point you were black, now you're blue. And I'm like, I'm just so grateful that they're letting Giancarlo Esposito be black, because they always have this man playing some form of Hispanic. This man is not Latin. He's not Spanish. He's not. He's just not. This man is black and Italian, and they always have him. They got him on The Get Down playing, you know, Cuban father. They got him on Breaking Bad. They had him on Breaking Bad playing Latin drug dealer man. And it's like, this man, he's not. But whatever. I'm just glad they let him be black this week. Let me see what else. Rebel shows up to the bar, and the police officer is like the bodyguard out there, and I'm like, why is he everywhere but nowhere at all? He's not helpful, but he just be there. I'm like, God, go away. I don't like this. She walks up to the party or the function or the club or whatever it is, and she's like, I'll deal with you later. And then she just walks in. I'm just like, you really could have dealt with him now, but, you know, I guess we're on a schedule. We'll deal with him later. She walks straight back, you know, asks the bartender, you know, where's Houston? And he says he's around, and then she spots the little man that punched her and smacked her off her bike a couple weeks ago. Apparently they friends now. And she's talking to him and kind of giving him the rundown, you know, some pressure on him. And then the bartender, I think it was, comes in and is like, Houston wants to see you. She, you know, swallows her alcoholic beverage and hands it to the boy, and stands up. The boy stands up, and he's like, not you, just her. She goes back, and she confronts Houston, who, again, if they were going to get a white man to play some sort of an ethnic man from Houston, they could have just got Paul Wall, because I didn't care for this man. He did not seem authentic to me. He didn't seem Southern in real life at all. He was talking, and he said something, I'll get there in a minute, but he said police, and it was just so uncomfortable to hear, because you know he doesn't say police like that in real life. I don't say police, I say police. So it sounds odd coming from my mouth, hearing me say police when I'm speaking. That's what it sounded like when that man said it, but we're gonna get there. Let me see. Texas is apparently dealing coke at his parties. You know, I'm already there. It was so sudden. I'm just here. She says, I'd like to know what happened to my brother. And then Texas comes through with, the police happened to your brother. And I'm like, they really could have got Slim Thug. I live for Slim Thug. He is fine to me. But yeah, if we gonna have somebody from Houston, let's have somebody from Houston. But whatever. They could have got Beyonce. They really could have. Beyonce could be Houston. She could have just been behind the curtain. They pulled the curtain back. Beyonce. I knew it would come to this. Like she did in Obsessed. Like, just, come on now. Beyonce, all the time, when I think about Beyonce talking and her Houston accent, I always hear her in my head getting on Jay-Z's nerves. And it's so funny to me. Like, every time I think about Beyonce, I know y'all don't care, but I'm bored, and so I'm going to talk about Beyonce. Whenever I think about Beyonce speaking, I hear Jay. Jay. Like, I just hear her saying Jay a bunch of times in my head, and then I picture Jay like, what? I don't know why. Anyway, back to Texas. Apparently the police happened to Malik, which is true. The police did happen to Malik. And then all of a sudden Rebel is leaving, and she gets all woozy, and, you know, camera effects, oh, woo, and then she falls out, and I'm just like, what? She just fell out. She hit the ground. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, they done drugged her. And I thought that was the end for a minute. But then after several commercials, it came back, and it was the DA again. And she was watching the press conference of Charles / Giancarlo up on the screen. And she was like, you know what? At first I didn't believe that y'all were having technical difficulties, but now I do. And she's like flirting with Charles. And she's like, you can go far in this business. You are so great. Love you. And I'm just like, okay. Blah, blah, blah. What else? Chance pops down to Paolo's car as he's leaving work and is like, how was your day at work? He's like, you know, how was my mama's date? And Paolo's like, I hope you're not mad at me for not telling you. And Chance is like, oh no, it's cool, whatever. But if my mama ever leaves you any money, a cent, I'ma kill you. Because Paolo received somebody's somebody wrote in his will for them to receive like their entire estate, something like that. So he got a bunch of money from somebody he took care of. And Chance is worried that, you know, he's gypping the girls. What else? The city offers Drunk Daddy $2 million for the loss of his son. Joint Daddy says that's just not gonna cut it. Let me see. He says he wants to crush the police department. And I'm like, all right, well, crush him then. Then we see Rebel. She's waking up at home, and I'm sitting here like, oh, okay, well, Sheena, you know, if that's her name, sidekick Shorty, you know, she tailed her to the club, picked her up, and took her home. All is well. I'm just like, oh, she's back at home. Great. That's fantastic. But then, like, she goes home. I mean, she gets up and goes in the mirror, and she's got back off written on her chest, and she's just like, oh, no, I can't, no. And, like, shook. And I'm like, oh, so sidekick Shorty didn't take her home? Somebody drugged her, wrote back off on her chest, and then took her, and maybe did whatever, we're not sure, and then took her home? That's uncomfortable. I didn't care for it. But it's set up for next week, which is going to probably be great. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be, you know, a stone cold groove, as far as Rox would say. I think it's going to be a good episode because, you know, her dealing with the aftermath of being drugged and just waking up at home is scary. So we're going to talk about that. But, yeah, that's Rebel. Again, swoop down to the description. Click on Matea's GoFundMe. It has nothing to do with Jackie Christie or her family. And, you know, you can read about it when you click the link. And while you're there, you can go ahead and donate. Also, in my description is all my information, all my contact stuff. You can find me on the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the Tumblrs and the Snaps. You can locate me on all of that. That's down there. And like, comment, and subscribe, and all the things the YouTubers say. I don't remember if I just said that or not. But yeah, do that. And I will catch y'all, if you watch all my videos, I'll catch you tomorrow for Greenleaf. There will be no Empire. If you just watch my Rebel reviews, I'll catch you in a week for Rebel. Peace.